Heartiest welcome to Global Talk Show by Business Power Academy, Netherlands. And this show is going to be super awesome and super amazing because we have a super amazing guest from the beautiful country, Armenia. And she is none other than Dr. Alice Durgaryan. Welcome, Dr. Alice, to our show today.
Yes, good evening. Thank you.
Well, that's really great to have you today. And I am very, very happy and privileged to host you because we have amazing, you can say, the great degrees, and which I wanted to learn something from you, Dr. Alisa. Well, let's take the journey on. And before I take this journey, I would love to tell about Dr. Alisa. She is ESP, ESL, EFL trainer, a teacher trainer, a global educator, and an international speaker too. So I have taught so many things about Dr. Alice, and now it's time for Dr. Alice to move on with this lovely journey. And Dr. Alice, I would love to know your incredible and so inspirational journey with my lovely audience.
Okay, good evening one more time, and thanks. I'm also glad to be here. And the past 5 days, I was just looking forward to a meeting and also sharing my experience. I would just start that I'm just an ordinary, simple teacher. Let's say this is my first mission. And maybe I will have different kinds of titles. Maybe I will be like, I have got different kinds of awards, but it hasn't changed me. Has changed, let's say, from the professional, because I have become more experienced and more skillful specialist. But on the other hand, I'm just have stayed the same simple, ordinary person and teacher because I'm just a part of the society that wants to share, to spread my knowledge and skills around the world. Teaching, not only teaching, because while teaching, I'm learning, and while I am learning, I am teaching at the same time. And there are many things that I have just learned from my students. And at the same time, I'm trying to be like a modern teacher, be aware of everything, every kind of changes. It doesn't matter I'm interested in this field or not. I'm just trying to be interested in every kind of work field in order to know, to gain information, to be aware of new technologies, because when we have discussions with my students, I like just to be the one who knows something on any topic, and I can just share something. That's why I think that my life journey maybe can be a long one, but not, let me always, I said that I am in the middle of this path, because I'm going to learn new things, many new things that I haven't known. And everything, it doesn't matter, it refers to teaching or not. I try to learn, to take something from this field, because I can just adapt that information or skill or method or ability to my field and try. And after trying, when I succeed, I see, oh, it works. Let's take something from medicine, something from ICT, or something, any word, even from cooking. I can take something, a method, for example, how can I make a sandwich? And this method I can just transfer, yes, to my teaching, that students, now we are going to tell about the story. Let's take the method of sandwich. Which part are the important, which part are fun? It's cooking, but I have just transferred to my field. And my maybe life journey from professional path began in 2005 when I graduated Armenian State Pedagogical University and got my BA. Maybe it was like the stepping stone for my professional development, because at the same year I just entered to another public administration academy and wanted to have my MA in the field of psychology, but from, let's say, from law in the field of it. And for 2 years, I was just hard studying not only laws, but at the same time, the psychology of law. And at the same time, just for the first time, it was 2005, when I first entered school. It was a private school. It has passed so many years, but still I remember my excitement, everything, how nervous. I had so many butterflies in my stomach because the just the moment that I wanted to, let's take a deep breath and then enter and when I just entered, how am I going to start my lesson? But I think it was like good experience for me to enter for the first time as a teacher because it was my mission. That's why I tried at the same time psychology and a few years later I just applied for another MA. I just wanted to have my MA in foreign languages and applied again for the Pedagogical State University just to get my MA, but it wasn't just the one. It's like, let's say, it was a period that reminds me like an endless railway. I just was getting on the one train, getting something, then getting off at the same time from the same station. I was just getting on to another one. And I started from, then I applied for a pedagogical academy in order to raise my qualification in this sphere and started step by step, step by step. Now at this level, if everything, I just cross my hands, I am going maybe in autumn, if everything will be get, I will get my degree of associate professor. I'm just working at this field because my PhD course has been all over all the exams, everything. I just have completely graduated, let's say PhD, but now the last, let's say, stage. That's why maybe this long journey gives me every time new challenges and every time just maybe for a short time working in one country and in another countries and in another country, it gives me just a good experience to get aware of not only the country, the culture, language, but also it's a very good experience. I remember about 3 years ago, I had a contract with one of the university. It was a project where I was an ESL teacher for Myanmar university workers. And it was a good experience, let's say, for me, because I haven't known any words from Myanmar language. They haven't known my language. From English, we just know hi and goodbye. And I was going to teach them English. The first 2 weeks, it was like, I can't say disaster, but at the same time, heaven, because I was working hard, trying any kind of methods, PPTs, presentations in order, but when after some time I just was tasting my first harvest, I was, oh, I'm so pleased. I could just overcome that. I will say that this experience has given me a lot of things. Or while having a project in another country, when you don't know language and you are going to cooperate with the teachers of that country, trying to know everything, or having even the training courses, maybe this training course is very good one for this country or for my country, but it's not the working one, for example, for another country. Step by step, let's say, it's maybe an endless building that you are not just going up, raising through the elevator, but through the stairs. And every step gives you like more and more self-confidence, and at the same time just motivating. And from one thing, maybe you just go, and every time when you see that the audience is pleased with your speech, with your presentation, it gives you many things. And in some cases, maybe, as my friends say, they say you are known all over the world. And whenever you go somewhere, they always know. Last year, for example, I had a training course for one of the India schools. It was a short term, just project. And then one of my friends left for the USA to have a training course, and the school's principal where I have had just that training, he was there in the USA too. And when he just knew that this teacher was from Armenia, so oh, we had a trainer from Armenia. This is one, and I said, oh, she's my friend. She called me, Alice. Do you
Great.
know
This
that?
is really
Yes,
great.
yes. Alice, do you know that you are known in the USA too? Because someone, a teacher, a principal of a school from India says that you have been training their teachers, and it was like amazing one. And to be able just to share, and why not? Yeah, I think that as much as you train, it gives you more confidence, and at the same time, more and more motivation for you, that you are on the right way as a specialist, as you are going to be like a professional educator or a global educator. And it makes, on the other hand, it makes you to be more and more responsible for
Very true.
everything that you are going to do. That's why for me, my life journey is an endless railway. And every time I'm just trying to catch up. At this
But
moment,
you
for
are trying the
example,
best, Dr. Alice, and I really appreciate your all hardships which you have tackled and your beautiful life journey. I must say, so inspiring. And first of all, you are so positive that the life journey is really a positive and so inspiring for all the viewers today who are watching us live. Well, Dr. Alice, I would love to know now. You told me about your inspiring life journey. But I want to know what kind of any challenges you had faced or hardships which you said, okay, it's time to knee down in front of my challenges or something like that. Did it happen? And how did you overcome those challenges? So that will be really beautifying this journey.
I think challenges is there are many different kinds of challenges that I can say that I like to take a risk, even if I know that sometimes I can fail, or there is only 1% maybe hope that I'm going to succeed, but I try. I try to, even there can be any kind of project or maybe an international, for example, teaching qualification exam or something. I know that, oh, in some cases I'm going to fail because I haven't prepared better that I have expected, but I try. I try even if I fail, because maybe many years ago, I was just after each failure, I was just getting sad, thinking, why is this one? Nowadays, no. When I fail, as I'm told, I am an ordinary, and there are many cases when I fail, even if I take risk, sometimes maybe I will fail. But I try to look at my failure from the positive side. I try to find something good in my failure, and using this good thing as a stepping stone, I'm trying to build up my next try, my next, maybe my new attitude on that topic, on that field or something. And I can say that it really works, because I just know psychologically just think that, oh, I have failed, I'm not going to try. No, it gives me another hope that I should work better and better in order just to be motivated and to know. And I just use this challenge, not challenge, let's say this quote for me, like a life code for me, just to find, just to discuss, to analyze everything, not from the point of just negative point of that I have failed, but from other corners too, from other points of view too. And always I just find something good, and oh, it's not 100% bad for me. For example, when I teach students foreign language, for example, English, let's say, who don't know any words from English, there are always, let's say, psychological difficulties that how can you, what I can do. I know sometimes maybe the teacher can be angry that, oh, I have explained you for so many times how it isn't, it's so easy or something. I just started learning Chinese in order to see what kind of
This is Dr. Alice really interesting. My goodness, because it's the toughest language I have heard, and you have
I
nailed it.
know.
This is really great one. Yeah,
Yes, I know because it helps me. Let's say at this moment, I'm not concentrating just knowing perfect Chinese language, but it's another challenge for me just to find out what are the main difficulties that students have when they want to learn a foreign language. What can be, what kind of barriers or what kind of negative aspects it can have, especially for the first stage of learning a foreign language. And from the point of like a student when I am just having such kind of difficulties as you have mentioned, Chinese is really a very difficult language. What kind of difficulties I'm having while learning it, it helps me just to find maybe the solutions and at the same time the answers for my questions on the topic of difficulties of learning a foreign language. And really it helps me in this case. I think there are different kinds of challenges for me. What can be done, even something, it can be any kind of project. How can I do, what can I do in order to help my students? And some cases I try to be in the team. For example, if we have a project, I try to be as an equal member of the team and trying to do in order just to understand how am I going to work with them or what kind of difficulties. I think it's the biggest challenge for me, just to analyze everything psychologically from psychology point, because in this case, you try to find not maybe not to dictate the solution of the problem, but try to make or give them a direction for solving the problem. And it's really a challenge in this case. And it will help. Definitely, it will help not only the student, but as for me as a teacher or as an educator to become more proficient. And in this case, for example, at this moment, this challenge is number one challenge for me to learn.
exactly, exactly.
Maybe in some cases I'm not a good student while learning the Chinese, but I just try to get everything.
But Dr. Alice, your challenges I have not seen in the form of problems. You have taken it as a form of challenge. You take the risk and you move forward. Whether you fail or pass, that's not important. But still, you try, and that's the you can say the success of a life story. You can say or incredible journey in your life. So this is really awesome to know, and thank you so much for inspiring so many people today that keep moving on and keep taking risks. Whether you fail or pass, it doesn't matter. Take it and make your way. Thank you so much, Dr. Alice, for this brilliant answer. Well, moving to
Thank
this
you.
lovely journey, Dr. Alice, I would love to know about your work, which you do currently. And I have seen you as a trainer, as a speaker. So enlighten us with your beautiful work.
Let's say I am different multi-profile teacher and educator because as I have mentioned, my colleagues and my friends say you are everywhere. And sometimes when I just say I'm passive this year, because I think that I'm passive this year, not as visible, let's say, on the online platform or different kinds of, they say, but every day we see that you are somewhere. That's why you can't say that you are passive. And currently in Armenia, I'm working at number 11 residence school after Williams-Sarian as an ESL and EFL teacher. And also at the same time working in 3 different like ITT Armenia and I do Armenia, and also I'm working as a facilitator at British Council Armenian branch, and plus different kinds of online, let's say. This is offline one for me in my country, but what refers to the online, it's in different countries is that I am having different kinds of projects. I'm an online teacher at the school, at Skying online school, amazing talkers. There are different kinds. That's why I can't just say this one, yes, this one, maybe for a short time in this country, for 1 month, for in this country. That's why I can't just specialize that I am only at this school, etc. No, for maybe for some period in these countries, any online platform or having training courses, or it depends on the time, maybe depends on my schedule, and depending on if how can I fix, how can I agree, because there are some periods that I have just to avoid, and at the same time I refuse any kind of suggestion to be a speaker, to be to have a just to lead a training course for the teachers, because there are sometimes that really very tough of work, and at the same time I can't just jump, let's say, from one place to another because I would just bring an example. Once one of my students say, we see that you are working in different countries, how can you manage to get on one plane then to another? How do you
How do you
manage?
flip flop?
And
Yes,
then yes,
exactly.
what time do you get up that you go to having session and then you come to school? And I say, I'm just going traveling through virtual airplane, not the real ones. That's why. But I will say that it doesn't matter where you work. I always have like maybe the best challenge for me to work on myself, on me, and try to be a good specialist. Because if you can be a specialist, but if you are a required and a good specialist in your field, it means that the whole work that you have done and you are going to do, it will be successful one for you, and will just promote you in your professional path. But just to be as an ordinary specialist, if you have chosen this way, it means that it's your mission and you have just to go ahead. And it maybe there are many times when at the end of the day, it can be, I don't, sometimes 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I'm just finishing my work, too tired, even just very hard, even the last minutes, for example, the training or the lesson, it's hard for me just to keep my eyes open, but I can't blame anyone because it's my way, the way that I have chosen myself, and I can't blame. If I do, it means I can. If I can, it means that I will be just able to manage, and it will just give me more and more power in this field, and I can do it.
This is really powerful, Dr. Alice, which you had told. And the way you have told it's so easy, but I'm sure the when you were making in the form of your discipline, perseverance, your hard work, that had played a vital role in making you today a successful and a strong person. So I hats off to you for your great qualities of patience, taking risks, and moving forward in your life. And today, trust me, you have enlightened everyone, including me, in this global talk show. And people are really, really getting so much inspiration of first how to make their time management, how to have certain things on certain times, and none other than we can say taking risks. That's really lovely to know. And thank you so much for this beautiful journey, beautiful answers, and so much inspiring and so much enthusiastic. Well, before I take and say goodbye to everyone, to my beautiful guests and my global audience, I would love to know, Dr. Alice, your beautiful message to our audience today.
The first message, maybe there are different kinds of messages, but my first message will be never be afraid of trying maybe it's a difficult and at the same time full of barriers, which kind of way. Never be afraid of trying, because if you won't try, maybe you will just regret during the farther whole your life. But if you try, you will know that there was something that I am going to work harder and harder in order just to succeed and to achieve maybe this goal. maybe the first message will be. The second one, maybe your desire. Sometimes people say, how can you manage to do so many things at the same time or during the day? I just always just answer, if you want, you can do it. If you want, you can manage it, because everything just depends on your desire. Any kind of, it can be your professional development. You want to be a good specialist, just read more and more. Just try to do everything to manage and to plan your day, maybe purposeful, because if you do it, you will just succeed. And if you read, for example, you will know more and more if you try, and never be afraid of being mistaken. You can make a lot of mistakes on your professional journey. As for me, when I just compare myself, the one I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago, and now, there is big difference between all these periods. And there were so many, for example, mistakes that I have done, even in teaching sphere, or even knowing the language, for because English is my foreign language, not my native one. But basing on these mistakes, I have learned, I have taken something for me and just adapt it, and now it's mine. And I know how can I struggle, how can I overcome any kind of my professional barrier or any kind of difficulties that I'm having here. That's why never just be afraid of, and go ahead, take a risk, go ahead without thinking that you will fail. Maybe you will fail, but at the same time, maybe you will just succeed, because there can be only 1% hope for success, but you can succeed. Maybe this one, just short for that.
This is really a great, amazing message, Dr. Alice. And you have enlightened full world today, full global audience today with your positivity and with your golden wisdom of nuggets in the form of beautiful messages. And trust me, these messages are not only a messages. These are, in fact, it will inspire millions today. So thank you so much, Dr. Alice, for being on this show of Global Talk Show. And I heartfelt thanks to you for this lovely and inspiring and so much knowledge powerful message you have given, you have shared. So once again, heartfelt thanks to you. Thanks for coming to our show and enlightening us with your great, great wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, you too, for your invitation. And also, it was also a pleasure for me to spend my evening here with you and sharing maybe my life experience, professional development path experience, maybe a challenge for someone who can be just inspired and motivated by my words and by my presentation, and say, oh, I believe I can. And starting from tomorrow, I am just going to struggle.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alice, once again. And thank you so much, my global audience, for always loving us, supporting us constantly and consistently. So keep doing that. Stay happy, hale and hearty. Bye-bye from India.
Thank you. Bye-bye.